It's been 5 years in the making. Lacy Hawkins, congratulations!
Speed rack's just like any night behind the bar. It could be 500 people staring at you from a crowd, 4 prestigious judges on stage, or it could be 4 deep at your bar on a Thursday night and 20 people just walked in. Before you start making drinks fast, you have to start making them well. The way Speed Rack works is you get 4 drinks called at random before you. I'm going to organize my well to make a martini first, cosmopolitan, scofflaw, and then a Barbary Coast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I start with my ice scoop filled with ice. I put it into my first glass, and at that point, I grab the second glass and scoop again, fill up my third glass, and it's just one more motion of grabbing my tin, filling it with ice, and I should not need to touch my ice scoop again. I'll start with the orange bitters because it's the smallest ingredient and I can get it out of my way. I keep my bitters on top of the bar because they're small and I won't forget. I pour in 2 ounces of gin and 1.5 ounces of citrus vodka at the same time. I drop my bottles and pick up rye whiskey and scotch, doing 1.5 ounces of rye whiskey and 3/4 of an ounce of scotch in my Barbary Coast. I chose not to use a jigger for any of those drinks, and it's okay because it's equal portions and they get all mixed nicely together and it's gonna taste delicious. I'll pick up 1 ounce of dry vermouth and 1 ounce of cranberry in each of these cocktails. This is where it gets tricky because now I'm going to drop the cranberry, keep the dry vermouth in my left hand, and reach underneath and grab the gin and do 1 ounce of dry vermouth in the scofflaw and 3/4 of an ounce in the Barbary Coast. Whenever you're setting up your cocktails for Speed Rack, you want to make sure that both hands are making the same motion at the same time. I'll grab 1/2 ounce of lime in my Cosmopolitan and 3/4 of an ounce of creme de cacao in the Barbary Coast. Drop my creme de cacao and keep the lime in my left hand, and I'll grab cream. 3/4 of an ounce of each in the scofflaw and the Barbary Coast. I'll drop both of those, and now 1/2 ounce of Cointreau in my Cosmopolitan and 1/2 ounce of grenadine in the scofflaw, and my drinks are finished. I continue to shake here. I'm finished with both of these. I have my strainers, put them right on the glass. I can strain. And at this point, I can garnish all of my drinks and hit the timer and I'm done. No matter how many times I've practiced, no matter how many times I've competed in Speed Rack, and no matter how many times I've lost, I've always learned something about myself and about bartending.